I struggled with bipolar all of my life. I knew I was a bit different, but I wasn't certain where it came from. And I heard from my family when I was an adult that they weren't sure what kind of mood I would be in when I came into the house. And in 1999, I got ill, and I had to go to the hospital. And that's when they diagnosed me with bipolar. During my years of sickness, I stayed in bed most of the time, and I had to be medically retired. That's when I got on Social Security. When you have high medical bills and high prescriptions, your money goes very fast. I spent the money on hospital visits, hospital stays, on medicine, and on trying to keep myself body and soul together. I didn't pay my taxes because I was sick. I was ill. Due to the medical bills I had to file bankruptcy. I was ill, I was very depressed, and I couldn't see my way out of the darkness. So I prayed, and when the taxes came in, I didn't do anything about them. And the government didn't do anything about them for quite a few years. After all those many years, I received a letter from the federal government and from the state of Louisiana saying I owed the IRS $125,000, and I was panicked. In all of that darkness, I call it, I had a light of hope, which was Mr. Bryson.
Miss Whitmore came to us, and she was carrying the weight of a world on her shoulders. She was visibly upset. She explained her story to me, that the IRS was just relentless, and they wouldn't leave her alone. So we decided to help her and take her case. And immediately, I could see that she was relieved, and I knew that we could help her just from her story.
Miss Whitmore had some tax problems. She was suffering some mental illness. And during that time when she was struggling, she didn't file tax returns. So she ended up filing them. We were able to get her into what's called hardship status, or CNC, non-collectible status, and the IRS has put all of her accounts in the situation where she doesn't have to make any payments. And in her case, it'll probably eventually expire within the time period that they have to collect it. So they won't really ever collect the tax because she's suffering from illness, she's older, and because she really just doesn't have the money to pay the taxes that were due on the tax returns that she filed late.
The depression lifted because I knew I had a sincere family atmosphere, which is how they operate. And I knew that Mr. Bryson was going to help me. I started with $125,000 owing the government. And through the resolution, it came down to $6,000. And with the resolution of currently not collectible.
You would think in a situation like Miss Whitmore, where it's pretty obvious that she really doesn't have a means to repay the IRS, and she has a story such as a medical condition that caused her to spend her life savings, you would think that the IRS would not aggressively pursue her to such an extent that she felt that she needed legal representation to do so, but it happens daily. And like I tell everybody, that's my job, and that's what I get to do, and it's a very good job.
Once I got the resolution from the Bryson law firm, the depression lifted to a great extent. My future was bright. I didn't have that burden, that fear of the IRS. It just helped me heal. That was as good as taking medication. And it was projected into my diagnosis that I had gotten so much better since that was resolved by the Bryson law firm.